Welcome to Helsingborg, Sweden, where you'll find the Royal Summer Residence and Gardens, Sofiero Palace. You'll find a cozy downtown, remains of an old Danish fortress, and Denmark itself can be spotted from here on a clear day. Curling is also found in Helsingborg, especially so this week as we gather here for the Legrier European Curling Championships 2019. Taking you inside the Olympia rink for our live coverage game this morning, the men's fourth round-robin game. It will be Russia to take on Switzerland. Let's meet the teams. For Russia, at lead, Anton Kalab. At second, Artur Rashabov. At third, Alexei Tusov. And team skip for Russia, Sergei Glukov. For Switzerland, at lead, Marcel Keufler. At second, Romano Mayer. Playing third, Mikael Brunner. And team skip, Yannick Schwaller. So looking at the standings, it is the home favourite Sweden on top with 3 wins, followed by Germany, Scotland and Switzerland. The Swiss only losing out to Sweden. Looking further down the standings, we will see Russia at the bottom, together with a bunch of teams at 1 and 2. Russia with a memorable win over Scotland last night. They will be looking to keep up the momentum. As the teams get ready, we will see there's other games out there this morning. 5 games in total. England take on Sweden, Italy to play Germany. A neighbourly battle as Denmark take on Norway, and we'll see Netherlands play Scotland as well. Keeping you up to date on those scores as we move along. Taking the time to introduce myself, I'm Sander Olvag. I'm joined by Olympic champion Rona Howie. Good morning. Are you awake?
Good morning, I am indeed. Ready for an exciting day ahead.
We have a 4-session day this week, the only one. So it's an earlier day for the teams, as we see Switzerland winning the last zone advantage and the pre-game practice draw. So Russia will kick us off here as soon as they have the go-ahead. And we see the clock ticking down. Anton Kalab now allowed to throw the first stone of the game, and we are off. 2 losses for Russia early on, but an exciting game against Scotland yesterday. Ended up scoring a 5 in the 9th end to clinch it. I'm sure that will feel good coming into this one.
Yep, it's going to be a long week for these teams. 9 round-robin games. So it's keeping motivated, and a wee 5 in the 9th end certainly keeps you motivated.
Marcel Keufler for Switzerland. Not the Swiss team we're used to seeing in recent years. Team of Peter de Cruz has often represented Switzerland. But this young team of Schwaller just edging them out in the rankings. I believe the top 3 results on the World Curling Tour were taken into consideration, and there were only a few points ahead of de Cruz, and that's why they were chosen to come here. It's Russia with maybe a bit more confidence after last night's win, putting up the centre guard, and Switzerland, a young fearless side, throw in the corner and will get some action early.
Yeah. Nice to see both teams going for it, first end. Stones in play.
Could that also be, could the ice also be a factor? That the ice is now, as we take a look at the rules of play, just a 5-stone free guard zone, which we see them take advantage of here. 6 ends to be played at a minimum. I'm obviously hoping for 10 or 11. 38 minutes of thinking time. I was going to say the ice seems to be pretty consistent now, and it's been the same for a number of games in a row, and that just maybe allows the players to get right into it.
Yeah, they've probably got more confidence, and they've got the pre-game practice, so they do see it as running the same, and The ice crew have done a great job with the ice surface, and it's very, very consistent so far this week.
2 center guards early from Russia. Did seem like that was the call, albeit my Russian's not the best. Artur Rashabov looking to come around and freeze the Yellowstone in the house. Well, that's an excellent start for the second. You can see the guards on the center line already causing a bit of a headache for Schwaller.
Yeah, wasting no time in removing them.
Asking his second, Romano Meyer. To clear the front. The two of them won the World Juniors together not too many years back. Doesn't remove both of them, but does open up the center line.
So close to lifting the one behind as well. Just nicks it in the way past.
Шире. Ближе к контролу. Нет, шире линию. Внимание. Свип. Держать.
This one is really pulling off their own guard.
I see that happen sometimes in the first end. A lot of draws being played to the forfeit to win that hammer, and then the center line might stay a bit fresh. Might grab a bit. So just as the pebble's broken down, we'll start to keen up, and the whole ice pad becomes a bit more uniform after a few ends played. Ice reading, of course, a big part of the game, constantly changing from pre-game practice to a potential extra end.
Yeah, and even different parts of the ice will have different tracks, and it's just knowing when you're giving ice and what track, what it's going to do. You've always got to keep your wits about you, really communicate between each other. Because if the ice does change, it's who's going to get on top of it first. That's the key.
Alexei Tusov. Well, just head and check to the wing.
A nice pocket round that guard now for Switzerland to come round and freeze on top.
A first look at Mikael Brunner.
Wow, Römer ist noch mega gerade, gell? Aber T-Line müssen wir. Schön bis die. T-Line müssen wir. Schön bis die, Boys. Komm mit da und gut. Hi, Puncello. Peter, ringen. Puncello, noch nie. Gut.
Really nicely played.
Yeah, not fully frozen, but I think might be maybe line second shot even. Close.
You can see there it's behind the guard, although the guard is quite long.
Hack.
I can't really catch it on the center line side. I would just run it onto the Reds and jam it. Alexei Tusov is the new face here this week for Russia. The other guys we've definitely seen before. It is Tusov's first ever international appearance this week, and playing quite well. Just not enough weight on this one.
Просто после нуля это надо было 1-2 делать, не 5. Не 2, 30. Меньше это 65. You okay? Yep. What?
This end shaping up really nicely for Switzerland. They've been able to open that centre line and bring the play to the wing. Able to spread their stones about a little bit. Also keep that centre line open in case they need to bail out. But at the moment, setting up for a multiple score. Loves to just come down and freeze into the pocket or even tap their own yellow after it.
Really nicely played.
See all those red rocks on the left-hand side causing a bit of an issue for Russia. Catchers for those yellows. That is just how effectively you can use your opposition stones to your own benefit.
And that's where stones back tee don't really help you. To be top tee and controlling that scoring zone.
Sergei Glukov has played at 3 World Championships, but only his second Europeans. Does remove 1 yellow. It's listed as the alternate back in 2017, but came on to play most of the games in the round robin.
Okay. Dat is niet egal. Ja, voor het was dat niet ook. Zie! Door niet dit. Geel zo! Dat deed helemaal goed. Ik würde glaube ich inlassen spielen. Vind das nicht schlecht hier? Schon noch Druck dann. Und sonst bekomme ich halt einfach einen Draw in 4 Fuß. Ja, ich finde es okay. Ich finde es gut. Seht ihr ganz? Ja. Seht ihn ganz, ja.
Just edge on edge with that corner guard, but it's pretty long guard. Thinking of maybe making the nose hit double on the reds. Try and bring all the yellows into play here.
Yeah, because that guard is so long that you can come around. There is space to get around. Good finish. Because they also know if Russia make a play on the one in the centre, they're likely to leave a double there.
So coming outside the played path here, again, this is where you might find a bit of fresh pebble, a bit of bite. It would be helpful if you have one of the players on the team thrown down here in practice, maybe a feed Yannick Schwaller, the skip. A bit of information on how it curls down here. Always sharing information is important for a curling team. Heufler, Meyer joining in on the sweep. Not a lot of weight here. Does not get the double, but will sit for 4th shot. Russia needs to be a bit careful. You can see the point of view of Vice Skip Brunner.
And the line was perfect, just a bit more weight.
У нас там камень лучше, чем в конце дома. Здесь он много места вроде оставил. Надо просто посмотреть.
Мы здесь привезти, кстати, не так просто.
Пол камня все торчит. Если ты здесь ошибешься, получится.
Смотри, сколько здесь осталось. Есть два или нет?
Там линия неизвестна.
Смотрите, нет.
Слышишь, что говорю?
Looking to play
Здесь опасно, если...
Нет, здесь есть.
double on the yellows.
So drawing turn me fear for us.
Looked like coming off the centre line stone, but
Jay first.
maybe didn't want to risk clipping their own red.
Are you rubber off? So God. I'll bite now if I out.
Yeah, if they split, because they'd have to catch it
there.
on that right hand side, and they certainly wouldn't want to split that red out. So this is just more of a damage limitation shot.
Makes the double. So leaves Switzerland lying one. We'll give them a chance to draw for two. Not the easiest draw here. We'll need to cross the centre line.
Diese vier sind wir gut. Wir können ja beiden abrollen.
Gut. Okay.
Müssen wir einfach früher kommunizieren, oder? Ja.
Needs to come across the stones on the centre line here and make sure they don't run out of rings. Over curl. Should have enough room to work with here though, Yannick Schwaller. Last stone, first end. Sounds pretty close.
Linie war nicht schlecht.
Will it sit in time here for Team Switzerland? Yes, it will. Right on the tee line from Yannick Schwaller. 2 points on the board. Great start for them. It will be Russia with Hammer in the second.
Stark sind die Jungs. Eben schön für 2 Euro. Weißt du auch nicht mit mehr wollen. Mit dem mehr probieren und so schon gut. Verlängerung.
8, 4, 8, 3.
Alles ruhig. Weet je een 3 los zien? Voor de 12 is niet zo, brengt dus niet veel.
Is goed als
Migu. Bringen, Migu. Bringen. Yep.
It is Team Switzerland to get us going in the second end. A score of 2 in the first puts them in the lead.
Такой. Я думаю, что да. 4-5.
Сюда, линия хорошая.
5.
Пониже можно, ребят.
Нужен 5.
Сып. Да, не бросать.
Поглубже.
Как можно ниже. Давай.
So a dream start for Switzerland. Their draw shot, pre-game practice. So important, get last stone at the first end, get off to a good start.
Linie gut. Achtung. Ziel. Wow. Eén lang.
Gang dat kort.
Daar is 1 en 4.
Zit.
Oké.
Slides to back 4.
Word!
Russia could go for the draw around because that is back tee, but deciding to go for the hit and roll.
Легко. Контрол. Внимание. Ближе к контролу.
Сив! Держать линию!
Не бросай.
Держать!
По итогу борты получились.
Мало льда.
Борт плюс. Да, борт плюс был.
Goeie gang, zo hè. Ha? Goeie nee. Oezena. Ja.
Vind ik goed.
Hek.
Er is nog iets mee hier. Goed, ja, al die mannen niet mee. Ja.
Yep.
Uit, hek! Hek!
Wow. Wow.
Gaat hek!
Niet gek. Very good.
Kom niet goed. Lever op. Remmen.
Goed, goed.
Контроль.
Легко!
Сив.
Свип! Свип! До конца!
Just trading shots here. Switzerland and Russia.
Yep.
Neither really making a roll in behind the guard.
Ja. Ik ben nummer 5, ik vind het knap hoor.
And the guard for Russia is quite long in the corner.
Klim mee! Plus 2!
Plus 3.
For guards to be useful, they really need to be up at the Gruyere
Ja,
sign.
mooi.
Al 3, moes.
Otherwise, stones behind are very accessible.
Oké.
Control!
We do have other games out there this morning. One is Italy, Germany. They're in the first end.
Не, нормально.
And Italy line 1, partially hidden behind cover. Mark Miskadovic has a chance to score 2.
Ai! Ai!
Trying to pass this guard.
Ai! Ai!
Oh, and it's passed.
Hard 6, hard 6, hard!
And it does remove it enough. Good score of 2. First end. Some good sweeping there.
Ganz 4.
A mistake by Rashabo.
Etter wie de hele
Doesn't even remove the Swiss
Ganz 4,
counter.
hè?
The chips it to the back 12 and a chance for Switzerland to come around the centre guard and put some pressure on the Russians here.
Remmen, Clemens, kijk!
Voor 8.
12.
Ja, Grun!
Immer remmen.
Ja!
Gas.
Hai!
Door.
Moeiser!
12, 8,
Jelei!
8.
Hard, niet tijd! Even remmen. Dram blijven. Kom, brengen.
Oh!
Goed push, jongens.
Really nicely played. Completely behind cover. Russia are going to have to open this up.
Sip!
Sif!
Бросай!
Sif!
Does remove the guard.
Уже уходит, чем его на полшишки ставили здесь.
Would have liked to have removed one out the house. But Goes past them both.
Ja, ist gut, ja. Ja, nimm mich schön. Da raus, ja.
Switzerland in a great position just to keep guarding.
Zirkli!
Ja, ich habe 2. Mitte 2.
Gut, besser, easy.
Ende 2.
3. Linie weg. Linie
Ende
weg, übergehen.
übergehen.
3.
Oh.
Linie übergehen. 3.
Anfang gesetzt. Er kommt okay.
Hey, übergehen.
Gut, okay, Migu. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Gut sein. Салат, Коля!
The guard does show maybe just a third of the stone to Russia. It's tempting now to come round at hack weight, tap back.
Yes! Как? Нет. Как? Вау! Поднять! Шире поднять! Есть как?
A long way to Carl.
Right past everything. You see all the scores. Sweden scoring a 2 on England. It is Norway scoring a 2 on Denmark. We saw Germany score 2 on Italy. Scotland scoring 3 on Netherlands.
So all teams with a hammer at the first end being very effective, scoring multiple points.
Nebendran ist super dort. Ja, geht so.
Er wollte ja dahinter.
Is je call?
Halb drum oder gerade nebendran so.
Okay. Ich habe das Gefühl, nebendran ist es zu wenig. Aber für rundum ist es gut.
Oh, Gonfries, das stört uns nicht enorm. Für rundum ist es mega schwierig zu spielen für ihn.
Okay.
Dann ist der ein Turn. Der
Gut, ja.
gehört 2 am Schluss, sage ich für das. Also
Wenn
mega
es gut,
schön.
nein, wenn wir einfach ein bisschen hinterher wollen, ist es gut. Ich finde es gut.
Die Spur ist so einen halben Meter feiner wie die letzte gehabt hast.
Ist gut.
Schon ein bisschen braucht er.
Ja.
Done well on the curling circuit in the last few years. Yannick Schwaller,
12!
his debut at the Europeans.
Linie gut, Ziellinie.
You remember the last time he
8! Schön bis ganz 4!
Römer.
had a debut win at the Europeans?
Ganz 4, Römer!
Just last year, wasn't it? Where's Mount? For Scotland. His first ever
First
European
Europeans.
Championships and won gold. So could be the same for Yannick Schwaller this week to get on the roll. The youth are taking over curling.
That rules you and I out then.
Sure does.
Если я оттолкну его, он мне просто садит так. И у него будет камень под гардом.
Yeah, it's great to see so many youngsters coming through the transition from juniors into the senior play. Much more seamless.
Here's Alexander Kosyrev, very young coach,
Если мы сделаем темпом,
player himself.
Not be too happy with the situation right now.
And here's Bernard Warteman.
Это 6 за. Нам надо свой сделать лучше.
Полтинник точно. А то и 40.
Happy over the two sides here so far, as we've close to playing two ends. Swiss up by 2 and really tightening the screw on Russia.
Хороший вес.
Sergei Glukov.
Сам. 6-8 за.
Needs to make a bit of room here for himself to score.
Не сделаем лучше. Антон.
So making a play on the shots done here, tapping that right back. That's not a bad play. You see Yannick Schwaller just peel this out and the forefoot will be open.
Yeah, it was a good shot. Because if they do nose it, it jams, so he has to just peel it out.
Yeah, that's why it was so important to play that weight. Just tap it back and leave the yellow end behind. Tap that rock through. You might see Switzerland play the nose hit here. It'll be a much tougher score. Will feel it, removes one of his own back stones on the way, but leaves them sitting two here, and will leave Glukov a draw to the forfeit.
He has got backing as well that he can come up to.
Is that something you should be thinking about, though?
No, you shouldn't. But it's an awareness fact for the sweepers to know that they have got that backing. So if it's slightly heavy, communicating that to the person in the head so that they can adjust the call accordingly. But for a skip's point of view, they're drawing the forfeit.
It's handed to the sweepers. Last stone, second end for Russia. Facing two Swiss counters here. Have they kept the backing in mind here? Going to make sure they have the line for it. Not over curl, but it will sit in time in the back four. Good draw by Sergei Glukov. Keeps his cool. 1 point for Russia. The Swiss will lead it 2-1 after two ends here in Helsingborg.
Даже мы независимый эксперт. Да, независимый эксперт даже сверху видели, что нормально было. Так, 26-й. 7-5. Здесь уже может это согреть быстрее.
Меня мощи тоже. 4-5. Меня отлично. 26. 26, 15-40 вообще подходит. Давайте сюда к сыру поближе.
Хорош.
The third end underway. Russia puts up the center guard. They trail by one, so. That is the tactic. Why is that, Rona? Why center guard when you don't have hammer, and why corner guard when you do have hammer?
So they want the centre blocked. And if you've got last stone, you want to try and generate play at the wings. Keep the centre open in case you need to bail out. So Russia got their one back. They want to cause some problems. Try and force Switzerland to take their one here.
See Switzerland coming around the centre guard. Now Anton Talal has to put his right on top of the yellow. You see this quite often. The freeze, just effectively making the ring smaller for Switzerland.
A really nice shot.
Because as it lies, not a lot of room for Switzerland to get in for a second point. So just trying to pack it in and around that red forfeit circle.
And also, if you've got the shots there, you can play tap backs later on in the end to even the line shot.
A bit of a setup. We'll see Switzerland come around the centre guard. Ooh, a bit of a rub there.
Just glanced.
Not too lucky with how that ended up. Leaves a bit of a pocket to Russia with a chance to come right on top of it. Take control of the front of the house. Don't mind leaving Switzerland lying to at the moment. So many rocks to go. It's all about taking control.
Yeah, and that's where the lead setup so important. They're the ones that put it all in place for later on in the end.
Вес, вес делай. Линия супер будет, вес.
Спасибо, ближе начало.
Сып, давай, 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 сып.
Сып, линия дальше.
Гард.
This one just coming up short though. They had a nice nest to sit in. It's not a disaster. It's still a centre guard.
Staan ze ervoor. Hier, hier.
Ik wil raden, ja.
But now a great opportunity for Switzerland to come into the nest.
Freeze. 12. No bounce. Wow, skraap nog. Linie goed, Pisonne.
All working this really hard now. The man of my just come up a bit short, but it's always a worry when the skip's coming out sweeping.
Well, might as well reserve some of the energy for the front end and have the skipper stay warm. Heading over live to Italy, Germany. The Italians would last rock here.
Italy are line one in the forefoot. It's just not an easy route to get in for the second shot here. Joe Retornaz.
Clean shaven and with glasses back in 2006 when we first got to know him at the Olympic Games at home in Italy. Beat Canada on the occasion in the round robin. Stuck around for a long time. One of the veterans of the sport this week.
Oh, past the guard as he got the weight. Oh, what a great shot.
Superb effort. I believe that is 2 points for Italy to tie the game up. Playing a very young German side of Muskatowicz.
Russia came round on the in turn, put another one in there.
So
now it's all about the angles.
Schon probieren, den bewegen, nicht nur so.
Ja.
Oder
So.
vorne. Kann es gut passieren?
Ja.
Fast nie, hä?
Nur das.
Ja, dann, ich habe das Gefühl, dann würde ich etwas
Das du?
ändern. Ja.
Siehst du, siehst du halbe
Nein, weniger.
Drittel?
Drittel, ja.
Okay, mit einem Out.
Finde ich sehr gut, ja.
Zeppe.
Gut.
Ja, sicher nicht schlechter, aber ich denke, aber gleich. Ja, genau.
Wer dan?
Ja, denk wel. Zie de hele steen. Ja, dan overkill je sowieso, denk ik.
Ja, goed, hek!
Yep.
Oh! Hek! Oh!
Oh, oh. Yep.
Oh!
Oh. Michi! Nein, Cello! Ja! Hard, weiter!
Okay.
Niet rein. Ja, wees.
Over curled a bit, I think.
Ja! Michi! Nein, Cello! Ja! Hard, weiter!
So still pretty good there.
Чуть мощь сильнее, Лёх.
Lines up those reds though.
Чуть-чуть сильнее, чем у Артура.
Play a tap on them.
Yeah, Russia don't want to play too much weight, just play a gentle tap to leave the plant of the reds going always to the yellow.
There's definitely a lot of yellows in house for Switzerland. But again, everything's packed around the forefoot, so less room to work with. And this would be a key shot for Russia here, but this one is tracking. Just a bit heavy, a bit overthrown, right through and past everything. Big mistake. And a few errors from Tusov this morning. Might need a cup of coffee at halftime. Almost the same shot here for Switzerland, trying to slash the Yellowstone top 12 onto the reds.
Yeah, Switzerland are got a really good setup there. Last stone at this end.
When you have the hammer, you're happy to play around the centre guard as long as it looks good for you. And well, finally, when it doesn't, you try and break it open. But for the time being, it is Switzerland with the better of it here. That's a really good shot by Brunner.
And it's just that difference. If Russia had made that last shot that they went for the tap up, you may have seen Switzerland clear the front because they were in trouble. But they're now lying really, really well in there.
Of course, always the risk as your opponent plays one good shot in and around the centre guard. It might take away the whole end.
But now Russia don't have much to work with in there.
No, angles are set up pretty well for Switzerland. Even if they get to the button, I think the Swiss might have a chance to get at it.
Yeah, they've got so many yellows that they can use to angle in.
Needs to make this one count here. Alexei Tusov.
Чуть шире. Начало. И нормально. Делай вес, Артур, всегда вали. Вес надо. Валить, валить.
Weight looks better.
Давай, 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 пошла линия. Отлично валит. Давай, Артур. Сип. Свой ниже.
Taps the red. Right onto the button here. Just a nibble.
Хорош. Неплохо.
Not bad there.
Прошли, кстати, широко. Ja. Wenn man nicht
Mal
hat, ist es so gut. Wie einfach ist er?
Weißt du, dann können wir wieder suchen.
As Switzerland discussed that shot, we're looking over Denmark playing Norway.
Jetzt so können wir besser kontrollieren, was da
Michael
passiert.
Kraus.
Michi, was wollen wir spielen?
Slippers on this all the way. I've got backing, back of the forefoot. And no problem.
Denmark will put a point up on the board. Trail Norway by 2 after 3. So Yannick Schwaller falling down
das, was wir jetzt bewegen, ist nicht
his
gut
team.
für uns. Wir kommen nur auf die Oberkante hier, der kommt hier runter.
Okay.
Was ist, wenn wir den nur hier hintappen? So teilen. Dann kommen wir immer wieder rein auf ihn hier.
Ist gut, ja.
Er kann natürlich nachher hier hindrehen.
Ja gut, dann liegt es immer noch gut.
Ja, was ist, wenn wir nur so etwas machen? Ja, also ein bisschen aufteilen müssen wir. Ich will schon ein Hack oder so.
Können wir in Ruhe diskutieren.
Willst du ein Timeout?
Ich habe das Gefühl, das ist Karl.
Für einen bei dir etwas. Kannst du auch wenn du dem ankommst, ist nicht so schlimm. Also wenn du so dünn hast.
Also über was wir müssen schon einen Call haben? Nicht einfach etwas.
Das Hack aufsplitten einfach. Oder also knapp, die Tap-Variante einfach.
Ist gut für mich.
Gut.
Da nicht tappen irgendwie.
Ja.
Dass wenn er über den nicht mehr über den spielen kann, oder?
Backline-Style. Knappe Backline.
Ja, Backline.
Gut.
You don't have to understand Swiss German to realize
Sieht haben ja massenhaft.
they're thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead here. I think initially they were calling to play more weight at the cielo and run it onto the redstone top 4. But now I think they're just going to tap it there. Try and set up for a huge end. Just maybe a bit more room for error with this kind of weight.
Yeah, and also if they don't get the angle exactly right, they're going to have options with the next one, because this will just open up, but still leave 2 yellows in the house.
And I might leave the shooter as well. Something to run in, come off of. Well, we've seen it's been curling quite a bit in this spot, and again struggling with over curling a tad here. Still, that's maybe not horrible.
It's definitely an end of 2 halves. Yellow on the right and red on the left.
Quite literally an end of 2 halves. Looks like if Switzerland would play hit on that Yellowstone top 8, they might get to the red. A bit of a domino effect.
Блин, этот камень вроде пока и так за нас стоит, не?
Какой? Вот этот?
Вот этот вот. Тройка, если... А если от этого, от 7-го сыграть?
Если мы сыграем просто даже здесь стей, то у нас уже будет неплохая ситуация.
Да.
Yeah, that punt on the yellows is very tempting now for Switzerland.
От этого вообще не рассматривается, да?
And Russia know that.
На ролл? Дабл?
Ролл, дабл.
Дальше что?
Можно
Дальше он ударит просто в первый, и 4 останется на
Мне
месте.
нравится свой иметь доти.
Мне не нравится вот этот угол, я хочу его изменить.
Вот этот.
Да.
Давай.
Но тут наиболее главное, чтобы у тебя осталась тройка, осталась сверху.
Сильный тег, да?
Будет хорошо, если мы попадем вот так. И останутся 2 этих.
То и делаем. Чтобы 4 ушла хуже.
Пойдем, Антон.
Окей.
Нормально, так
больше,
нормально,
да.
так нормально.
Еще чуть больше. Лёв.
Мне просто этот камень нравится, то, что сверху он стоит. В зоне атаки вот этот красный. Которым мы сейчас будем бить. Силач?
50, такой средней силы, 250.
Settled on the call here. Down to Skip Rocks. Savcik Glukov will run this redstone across. I think onto that Yellowstone top 4.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, this one's over curling. On the guard. And what's going to happen here? Definitely shuffled the stones quite a bit here. That's going to paint a new picture for Switzerland to look at. So catching the red onto the yellow, shuffling another 5 rocks about.
Wir müssen hier reinkommen mit dem Draw. Ja. Sind wir second im Moment?
Looking to see who's lying second shot.
So, oder?
Russia's saving grace is that stone top 12.
Für uns?
Ja. Dann geht mit dem alles. Könnt ihr 3 an, der liegt 2, je nachdem.
Wahrscheinlich habe ich dann einen No-Sit für
2.
Für 2.
Das stimmt.
Jetzt Gefühl, so einfach.
Okay, ja.
Ich finde das gut, ja.
Wirklich, ich finde es hart haben, dass wir sicher second sind.
Ja.
Finde ich gut, ja.
Ist gut.
Finde ich sehr gut, ja.
Der macht er über aussen wahrscheinlich etwas nachher.
Ja, voll. Soll ich?
Finde ich gut. Braucht schon viel da für die Länge.
Ja, ich habe das Gefühl.
Brauchst du so viel?
Ja. Es geht recht weg hier.
Kommst du die Länge, oder?
Es geht recht weg.
Okay,
gut.
Ja, also knapp einen Meter härter wie Tennis gesehen.
Hat er vorher etwas dran?
Du musst immer auch einen Abroller über unser Zeug
Ah ja,
machen.
genau.
Ja, früher aber schon probieren, voll drauf.
Die ist sicher nicht feiner, die läuft schon.
Nein, aber wir haben mehr auf der Seite gespielt als vorher.
Ja, aber ist es...
Ja, ja. Es ist gleich bis einen halben Meter härter wie die letzte hatte.
Ich glaube, die geht schon noch recht zusammen am Schluss.
Ja.
hier.
Ja,
Playing a
voll.
draw here.
Und sie schreist recht, bleibt dran.
Yeah, just
Ja.
don't tap that yellow.
Ja, ich hau da auf der.
It's third shot into second shot position.
Would love to remove that redstone on the forefeit, but hard to get to. Also, quite aware Russia will have a chance to run in the stone top 12.
Nein, warte jetzt! Linie ist nicht schlecht!
Brauchst du noch ein Lemmer? Bringen wir auf 3.
But they've been overcurling the spot a few times.
Voll 3, voll 3.
This time, just undercurling.
Okay.
Weight didn't look that bad.
No, and sweepers seem quite happy with it early on.
Das ist gut gegangen jetzt.
Sorry, ich kann nicht
Für weniger gemacht wie die Backline für den von Michi.
Looks like a chance for Russia to get out of this mess. Run it on to the stone top 4. Even if you catch it quite thin, it will just run it into a wall of yellow rocks on the left-hand side here.
Yeah, this is one you've got to err on the right side. You can't be tight here.
Might be really good to catch it then. You might even get both the yellows on the forefeit. Might sit.
But
sit-
it's
sit a
also
couple.
important, if he does catch it thin, there's going to be nothing. The shooter's not going to be sitting at the top. So he can't leave a double on the reds behind, because they'll then be open. So he's got to be really careful what he leaves here.
Let's see how this comes off for Glukov. Oh, wanted to catch a bit thinner than that. Leaves the two reds quite close together, but how's the angles on them?
And that red squirt through between the yellows.
Normally there's a double, but will the yellows be in the way? Couldn't get it out. Just a bit overcurled again. Really thought he'd be better off catching this a bit too thin. And well, by the first look, you got to wonder if that top red might be able to spin through the tiny port that is left between those yellows.
Or even if it catches one on the way past.
All the good part for Russia, they have a third red in there on the 8-foot. That eliminates a few yellows. This could be for 3, maybe 4. Yannick Schwaller, last stone, third end. What's he got here? 1, 2, will jam it, spins up and out. Doesn't leave the shooter, so only 2. Ooh, probably a bit of a sigh of relief for Russia, only getting away with 2. Switzerland will take it, having a second look. Just caught a bit too high here, wanted to keep the shooter. 2 points on the board for the Swiss, and they're still ahead, now 4-1.
Zeit müssen wir ein bisschen schauen.
Ja, ist schon klar nach dem Ende.
Ich kann das einmal sagen. is oké. Dat is immer goed.
Niet beginnen, la. 100%. Kunnen we beginnen enorm.
A very exciting end of curling here at the Le Gruyere AOP European Curling Championships 2019 in Helsingborg, Sweden. Standard Rollvag here with Rona Howie. Lots of rocks in play in that third end.
Yeah, very exciting.
That's a fun. One of many things that's fun about this sport is it doesn't matter if you played for a year or 50, there'll still be a new situation every time you play, especially when you put that many rocks into the house.
Yeah, definitely one of the real positives of the sport. Every game can be different. You don't know what you're going to face. New challenges every time. What a dream start for Switzerland with a hammer. 2-1-2. They would love to force a one again here. And Russia's corner guard here is still a wee bit high. So we're trying to get the hit and roll behind the cover. Just tight of line.
Stand out.
Misschien nog met shoppen hebt snel afkasten.
Really nice, hit and roll.
Slabый.
2 in a row.
Slabый take.
Sweep.
Wow.
Sweep. Sweep. Sweep.
Wow.
Certainly keeping things a bit more simple in this end.
Eigenlijk recht goed, Theodor.
Ja. Zijn halt.
Fosse.
Ja. Vind ik goed.
Zijn al er nu.
Goed aan
Russia has been in trouble so far in this game, so maybe just wanting a bit of a breather. Take it back to basics.
Zijn al. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Cello.
Yeah, you just feel that they've been chasing every end, not getting an opportunity to get anything built up.
Is het zo? Ja. Zo'n gevaarlijk voor één. Continu.
Мне нравится просто дро.
Так?
Вам так нравится?
Да, качок дро просто, 2 хуже будет.
Тут валит просто сильно, не хочу шутер терять.
Хорошо, стей. Если получится, стей. Ролл небольшой.
Окей, stay roll.
Да.
Ты тогда так контроль бросал.
Да, ну с центра борт нормально.
Quanto?
Control.
Zip. Sport. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
controleren.
Finde ich gut. Ich bin mit mir vom Gefühl her noch 10 gewesen, dass es 10,5 ist. Gut.
10, 9,5!
Nein, nein.
10! Schon recht, schon.
Yep!
Das ist gut.
10!
Oh! Yep! Yep! Immer 3 von mir hoch am Anfang, wo ich sehe, so danke.
There we go.
Klaar met ik.
Yes, Lovey! Zie! Daar! Zie! Zie!
Wow.
Didn't roll fully behind cover, still shows enough for Switzerland to get a hit and roll.
Op plus 2. Kom, yep.
Yep!
Plus 3, 4.
Yep!
Whoa,
Whoa!
whoa. Yep.
Ram liever! Whoa! Remmen, remmen, remmen!
Bring hem, bring hem!
And there's the
Hoe erg snel.
error that Russia have been trying to force.
8 доля. 8, да?
Да.
Что думаете?
So a chance to come around the corner now and lie to.
А ты 7 километров.
Чуть шире.
Вес пока сам.
Лей немного. Только Артур. Очень прямо пока. Только Артур. Пошел валить. Вес какой? Очень сильно валит.
Тили начал!
Да-да-да. Что завалить? Цып, цып, линия.
Окей.
Хорош.
Yeah, really nice come around.
55, все помню.
Dan is het helemaal niet kan, maar zoveel nu ja. Dat is zo. Vind ik goed.
So ideally, Switzerland want to hit and roll behind their own yellow here. Make it difficult for Russia.
Als je rol was in beeld.
Die doet niet zoveel keul, toch? Die staan allemaal goed voor u.
Nee. Nee, dat wil ik.
Hebben, Geestief zo goed.
Het is goed voor nu, ja. Top.
Nu!
Yep.
Inhoud!
Wow! Yep!
Yep.
Even remmen. Volgende week.
Oh!
Wow.
Wow!
Af.
Kijk.
Goed zo, Jan.
It's good enough.
Goed zo. Shot.
It's a shot stone. Probably makes Russia make a play on it.
Если мы сами сыграем
Bit of a roll out there, and Russia could come around the corner again, set up for 3.
Полкамня ролл, причем. Не целиком.
Still could do that, but
Половину.
especially with that center guard in play, I don't think they're going to take that risk.
Что, Серег, ролл
Mikael
полкамня,
Brunner
да?
still annoyed with himself there
Да, идеально полкамня.
about his error.
Да. И он в конце положил. В конце положил, еще не мягко сделал. Мягко, да?
But mistakes happen. Bin it. Move on. Control the controllables. What is your next shot?
Sport psychologist Rona.
Линия норма.
Слабый.
Сип. Воу. Легче. Воу.
Сип.
Yep.
Сип.
Yep.
Сип.
Окей, тоже пойдет.
Makes it roll to the back 4 here. Savje Gluko, as we take a look over Italy, Germany, tied up after 2 ends. Last rock here.
Germany lying 1, not an easy way in. So Mark Muskatovic going off the Italian stone, and oh, he was trying to go for 3 and left Italy lying 1.
So 1 point for Italy. They lead the game 3-2 after 3 ends played.
Was a simple draw for 2, but obviously saw the shot to go for a multiple score. Risk versus reward.
Young ambition.
Absolutely. Not frightened.
Achtung. Cello. Yep. Probier. Ah, wow. Okay. Weiter. Ja.
Они стоят такие, по камню стоят, По-моему, это понятно, легко. Вау. Слабый. Окей. Стандарт.
Легко. Средний. Лоу.
Сип!
Нет.
Сип!
Да, до конца. Давай. Не бросай.
Yep. Еще поднять.
So, after 4 ends of play, Switzerland with a 4-2 lead on Russia. Single point.
С центра упал, значит. Даже сильнее.
Да, он всех падал здесь, в принципе.
Классический, 8, 7-5, 8. 7-5. Шестой? Эй. Линия чуть шире!
Линия нормальная линия. Для шестого хорошо.
Кто вес?
На 6.
Only a single point for Russia in the 4th end. Putting up a center guard here. Would love to force Switzerland to a single or even steal.
Okay. Backline.
Switzerland attempting the tech shot here. Already in the 5th end. Something, at least, if you go a few years back, we only really saw in the 10th end or an extra end. You're just trying to keep the center open to score your 1 point for the win, but it has been employed by other teams early in games, and Switzerland here looking to neutralize the center guard, which they are going to do very well. Keufler, great tech shot, rolls the shooter onto the rings.
Great shot.
So obviously looking to either blank here or see if they can get a soft 2. Just bring the play to the wings, like we talked about when you have last stone. Trying to keep that center open.
And that's where the guard positioning from Russia is so important. If it's closer to the rings, it's easier to split it in to the house, whereas if it's higher up, it's that wee bit harder.
Then if it's too high up, it's not that usable either. So it's tough to expect when your opposition might play a tick shot on you, especially in the fifth end. You don't see that too often.
No, it usually is the second half of the game before we see the tick shots in play, but as I say, if it is close to the rings, it's very tempting just to split it in. And now you can then play this.
No roll. Yep. Right.
Two fantastic shots. That's how a lead sets up an end.
I wonder if Schwaller was thinking that Russia would put up 2 centre guards in the end, and maybe that's why they played the tick shot. Try to avoid that happening. It's a much more tidy end now anyway.
2 ends ago coming down here, there was 2 centre guards. They had an awful lot more stones round them.
Okay.
Vier, 5 in that.
Okay.
Better turn.
Going goed zo.
Doesn't quite get onto the face of the yellow. So Romano Meyer with a chance to run it back here, get both the reds.
Whoa! Yep! Yes!
A little bit off and on, should be close. And there you go. Great shot by Meyer. It's all Switzerland at the moment. That's a confidence killer.
And they are playing with confidence out there.
Yeah, good shots doesn't just improve the situation on the ice, just mentally as well. Gives you a boost and puts a worry on the face of your opponent.
Yeah, Russia trying to get the roll behind cover, but catches the wrong side.
Surely that's why sports psychologists are brought into the game quite a lot. You're out there for good 2.5 hours, 3 almost at times. A lot of time to think.
Absolutely, and you know, it's too long a time to focus all at once. You know, it's having that skill to be able to switch on and off when you need to.
It's possible to spend an awful lot of energy on with your emotions. It could be a roller coaster throughout a game.
And it can be frustrating when shots don't work out, but it's how you deal with that. Learn from it and move on. And once a stone's been played, you can't change the outcome. So there's no point worrying about it. But as you say, when you're having a good game, the team's playing well, it just does raise that feeling of confidence and having that aura on the ice that you own that sheet of ice you're on.
At the same time, got to make sure not to get too complacent.
And when things aren't going great for you, it's still being able to keep the communication going and keep supporting each other.
And Russia seems to be falling apart just a tiny bit here in the fifth end. Nothing really working. That's a great setup for Switzerland to score another deuce here. Brunner, a chance to draw to the wing. Split the house. Don't mind bringing this one behind the tee line, just so Russia can't make a hit and roll off of it and
Goed, Toes.
Fine cover.
Goed, Toes. Pistone. Goed, goed. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
This draw looking pretty good from Brunner. Just in behind the tee line as we move on over to the Italy-Germany game once again.
And Germany lying 1, so this time just a sensible draw for 2, but not an easy one. Italy have got 2 at top of the forefoot. Have to navigate past them. It's looking a bit heavy. And it sails past, so it's only a score of 1 for Germany.
Well, that will tie up the game again at 3 each.
Места немного, но есть за тилайном место.
Давай. Нам нравится.
Давай попробуем.
Можно тут затевать.
Найти. Главная линия.
Вес. Хорошая линия. Линия супер.
Нет веса.
Линия сейф.
Мало веса.
Делай вес.
Сип!
Давай наверх.
Certainly taking a
Давай наверх.
bit of a risk here. Russia trying to come around.
Лучше.
Ends up chipping off that yellow. Could be a big end for Switzerland here. Russia feeling like they had to take a risk here, couldn't afford giving up another 2 and be 4 down.
Vorne ist er recht gerade gelaufen.
Gut.
Da. Yep. Yep. Hey.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Really nicely played.
What do you do here, Russia? Back to damage control or
Лип трипл.
all in?
Рерол хуже все равно будет. Че он смотрит? Трипл?
Is there a treble?
Очень тонкий, конечно. Очень тонкий, да. С гардом надо.
I think you're going to have to come awfully close to the guard.
Yeah, the
Нет,
guards
не очень тонкий. Трипл хочешь? Да.
in the way.
Не очень тонко, тут нормально.
Если он там есть.
Поставь. Ты хочешь? Сауту? Сыном. Сыном.
Вон, смотри.
Чуть больше еще. Валила, помнишь, я бил?
There
Чуть-чуть.
is just enough room.
Похоже на то, что мы
Definitely don't want to catch the guard here and running onto that wide red, spin that into the house. That could be
Дабл. Играем дабл.
a real possibility if you ever clip the guard here thinly.
Там как пойдет. Лех, чуть меньше. Все-таки. Чуть. Леха. Чуть меньше. Это много меньше. Чуть больше.
Sergei Glukov with a big shot here.
Yep. Whoa.
A little bit off and on.
Поднять.
Sounds pretty close, but will chip the guard. Chipped it so thin, so didn't spin that in and actually redirected. Caught a yellow in the back. But you could see ever I hear high for a line there. Could have been a bit of a danger. Got something out of it.
nog wakker, Piet.
Is dat nu niet goed? Schön auf Nase ist gut.
Ja.
So this now looking very good for Switzerland.
Ja, die ziet dan niet zo schuw mag.
We'll leave a double on the 2 yellows. My question is where you leave the shooter here. So you could leave the triple back again. So you might want to roll to a spot where they don't leave those angles.
9, 8,5. Yep. 8,5. Yep.
Whoa!
Easy, clean.
Yep, yep.
Cello.
Yep! Yep!
Quick.
Makes a nose hit. Switzerland lies 3. We take a look at England playing Sweden. 6-2 the score in favour of Sweden as England play their last stone here.
And Andrew Reid facing 3 Swedish counters, going for the double takeout.
Whoa! Yep! Hard on it! Whoa!
And makes it perfectly. So it's a 1 on the board for England.
So Sweden lead at 6-3 as they head into halftime.
Внимательно, линия. Легко.
Сип!
Легко. Больше линии.
So Russia going for the come around.
Току надо будет подключать.
I guess they feel that giving up a 2 here isn't going to work for them, so taking the big risk here, and that's a really good draw. Gets shot stone and gets maximum separation here. And you just know Yannick Schwaller will play the run back. And it's kind of an everything or nothing shot, so either Russia steals one or the Swiss will put quite a few points up on the board. Could be either game over or game on for the Russians here.
Get 15 now. Yep.
Basically saying, well, okay, I need to make them play a harder shot. Go for the steal. So he's done all he can.
Yannick Schwaller. This is the nail in the coffin for Team Russia already before halftime. Runs it back and will stick it even, and it's a score of 4. What a shot by Yannick Schwaller. Russia took the risk, it didn't pay off. And with that, Switzerland will head into halftime with a dominant 8-2 lead. Well, look at that again. Just perfection, runs it back, keeps all the yellows in play. A big 4. And this is going to be a tough battle, a tough climb for Russia when they're back in a few minutes with the rest of this game. Five ends played, Russia, Switzerland. Second end. It is Sergei Glukov with a draw against 2. Not a lot of sweeping to it, but this red stone will settle in the back 4 for the single point. Russia trailing Switzerland by 1. in the third. A whole heap of rocks in around the house. Yannick Schwaller trying to play the double and squeeze the Russian stone out the side door. Which he does do, but loses the shooter. Still good enough for 2. And Switzerland ahead by 3. And the fourth end, Sergei Glukov with last stone, a chance to score 2 right back, but will overcurl, rolls out. Just a single point for the Russians. And then the fifth end, Russia taking a risk, drawing around the top yellow stones, forcing Yannick Schwaller to make a run back, but a run back for a big score, which is made perfect. Will stick it for a total of 4 points. Switzerland well ahead. And there we see all the scores. So far this afternoon, Sweden up 6-3 on England. Italy and Germany are tied. Norway leading Denmark 4-2. And Scotland up way ahead of Netherlands 7-1.
Gut, ja. Einfach so weiterzuhalten.
Nichts Schwieriges. Ja, nichts Schwieriges aufkommen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Только заберите. И сыграйте после того, если заберете, я надеюсь, что заберете. Вы не по центру, а пошире. 2 корнера по 4. Чтобы они мешали подвозу и чтобы было неудобно. Да.
We take a look at the stats. It is Switzerland well ahead on Russia, just and the total percentages, outshooting Russia by 20%, and it does show on the scoreboard 8-2 Switzerland lead. Russia will have to come up with something special in the second half of this game.
Okay.
Jan Dut. Jan Meers da.
Ich bin nicht. Ich bin keine 4 noch.
Könnt ihr ein bisschen zusammenkommen?
Ja,
Achtung.
ja, also.
Achtung, bleib dran. Gut, Cello.
Here we go again, Russia, Switzerland. We're live from Helsingborg, Denmark, the Legrier AOP European Curling Championships 2019. Well, if you love cheese and if you love curling, this is the perfect place for you. I'm Sandra Olvag, joined by Rona Howie. We see a young but experienced Swiss side taking on a Russian team that's slowly falling apart in this game.
Yeah, Russia played a few half shots and Switzerland just capitalised, and Switzerland are playing a very clinical game out there. Playing with a lot of confidence, and look at that. Great numbers for Marcel, setting up the ends perfectly for Switzerland.
Could have handed to Sergei Glukov though. Took the risk there with his last rock and played it perfectly. And if you got a half shot from Schwaller there, that'd be a 1 point difference game. It'd be very open. Sometimes you just have to take those risks, and just didn't pay off this time. Be a 1 point game instead of a 6 point game.
Yeah, but he took the risk and he played a great shot. Couldn't have done any better.
So Russia probably will just have to go all in here. In the sixth end, try and utilize the 5-rock rule. Allowed to put 2 corner guards in play here. Switzerland can't really do much about them.
So wie meine erste Jahr nicht gefühlt. Ja, ich fühle
Eén nog knap.
Roman Meyer playing 90% on the game. He's putting all the rocks in the house here. Just something for Russia to deal with. You might see Russia try and use these rocks though to their benefit.
Yeah, there's no point in hitting them. They need to just tap them back and keep them as backing or freeze them. Just play about with them.
Это сейчас как гард.
Хорошо.
Они сами могут растолкать и ударить здесь.
Потом все равно придется это делать.
Если мы сыграем здесь, он будет, возможно, гард снимать. Тогда мы привезем туда. Слабый тейк.
Слабый?
Да.
Not sure if I love this call.
No, hitting a stone back tee when you're 6 down in the game. You can see what he's trying to do is roll behind the staggered yellows, but if you're Switzerland, you're happy to see this call.
Yeah, first of all, it's a very tough call to, or shot to make perfect. Second of all, what you usually do in this situation is just try and tap around your opposition stones and try and actually make your opponent remove their own stones by trying to blast out yours. Ends up rolling to a pretty decent spot though, behind the corner guards. But it's just a bit early for me to start hitting opposition stones here.
Yeah, especially when it was behind tee line. Not going to benefit you much.
Yep.
Switzerland will ignore everything in the house, start peeling these corners. They know they will hurt them eventually. Actually gets the corner guard closest to the house.
Yeah, because the other one's very high, so it's fairly easy to come around on both hands. Stones are accessible when they get behind that corner.
Needing to be careful though. Even when you're up in games, even by this much, 5 ends to play and the 5-rock rule, things can very quickly get messy.
That's where Russia, it would have been messy if Russia had played some tap backs and spread stones about. But with them hitting, it's kept it more open. And that's why if you're Switzerland, you're delighted that they played that shot.
Totally agree. This one's a bit deep, chips off the yellow, ends up in behind the guard. Such a long guard now, it might be tempting for the Swiss to chase the Reds.
Gut. Kannst du doch schnell, ihr fast ganz. Geh du watch.
Die Watchen spielen.
Fast gut.
Ja, ja.
Nu. Whoa, yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Mikael Brunner.
Yep.
He's playing the controlled weight here. That's a bit of curl in around the guard. Will remove 1 red. Set 3 as we take a look at Joel Vetronaz. Last stone here in a tied game in the 5th end on Germany.
A lot of stones lying about the 4-foot in this game as well. Looks like this is a shot for 4.
So looks like it's made. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Is that Sixten Totzek putting up 4 fingers? I think so.
Great score from Italy.
7-3 after 5. What a way to finish the first half of the game here, coming into halftime for Italy.
Большой контакт.
Так нельзя.
Не надо контакт.
Нормально идет, хорошо идет, сам.
Сам, Серег, сам.
And now Russia playing a draw, a freeze.
Все пораньше, может, чуть было, да.
That's the kind of play we expect to see.
Чтоб угол был.
Two sub. A few errors today.
Okay. Auf zwei.
Willst du schnell anschauen?
Ja, schau schon an. Ich habe das Gefühl, wenn er rot-gelb dahinter rausnimmt, würde ich eher direkt. Wenn er rot-gelb?
Weißt du, dahinter?
Wenn der hinter rausgeht,
Das sehe ich schon. Aber dann tun wir den genau da hinten.
Das ist nicht schlimm.
Einfach nachher in den Corner.
Ja, da kommst du ja immer an.
Der geht eh nie. So.
Was ist mit mir?
Ja, weißt du, wenn der willst machen.
Switzerland, something to think about.
Sprich gegen den anderen, du hast einen Film. Spatz.
Ja, okay. Immer zu dünn, wenn du etwas hast. Du kannst fast nicht. Oder? Ja. Stick darfst du nicht, sonst sind wir nicht gut.
Nein. Willst du direkt spielen drauf?
Mir ist beides eigentlich.
Wie viel siehst du denn eigentlich überhaupt?
Das.
Du könntest eigentlich auf die Nase spielen.
Taking a look back at the last one for Yannick Schwaller in the fifth end. Just a marvelous run back. There's different kinds of pressure in a game. It's the one where, well, if I miss this, we're in trouble. Or it's the, if I make this, we're in great shape. And they can both be tough to face, but for Yannick Schwaller, kept his cool and just executed that shot perfectly.
Yep.
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 Eben.
Ja!
Eben.
Hi!
Eben. Okay.
Just scrapes past the guard. Removes one red.
Лучше этого.
Лучше желтого, да?
8 до, да.
Я сейчас был такой же, 8, 7-5 у тебя был.
7-5 был?
Силаки.
Меньше плюс.
Хорошо.
Было
8 до. 8-10. Линия чуть шире.
Кажется, можно.
Линия чуть шире.
Да!
Делай вес.
Да, делать!
Сип!
Давай. Вали.
Мясо можно?
Вали. Давай, еще чуть-чуть. Окей.
Trying to bend that a bit more at the end. Switzerland will be able to see that.
Kante!
Again, the problem with the guard being too long.
80.
See the whole stone.
Ja, ja, voll.
So an opportunity now to lift this double on the reds.
Schon noch rund gewesen, nicht?
Spitz.
Das ist fürs Machen.
Der macht doch lieber etwas, oder? Man kann sie schon heben. Kommst du 8?
8!
Das finde ich recht gut gedacht.
Ich finde es auch gut, ja. Das ist eher viel.
Eher, ja. Kannst
Ein bisschen weniger.
Ja, jetzt finde ich es sehr gut.
So after he's run back at the last end, Yannick Schwaller. Great numbers today.
Whoa!
Would like to lift this double.
Yep! Hi!
And jams it on the back.
Ты можешь чуть подмазать, стоит,
Ну да, надо делать 2 лучшего.
At least does remove one red though. And it's not a disaster here for Switzerland if they lose a 2. They're still 4 up with the hammer. Very much in control. But ideally we'd like to just give up 1.
Yeah, you hit when you have a big lead and the opponent starts chipping away at that advantage.
Yes!
Yep. Siep. Yep. Siep. Yep.
Well played. Takes a double. Lies 2.
There's a slash double available for Schwaller. Not easy though.
Russia keep leaving these shots for Schwaller. Can't make them all.
Well, doesn't look like he's going to take it on here. So just playing it a bit safe. Of course, the risk always, you play thin double. There's always a chance you catch just thin air. I think they're just going to try and hit this on the nose or just roll to a spot where they might choke off a draw. Or they're trying to squirt through.
Just trying to punch their own yellow. It's a lie shot, but just doesn't make it. So an opportunity for Russia to draw for 2.
Да, 7-5 мы вроде делали.
Да, привезли 2 за. Сосыпом я тер, легко всю дорожку, 2 за привезли. Сама.
Хорошая линия. Мне кажется, вес можно протирать. Да, пошел валить.
Линия нормальная.
Пошел валить очень сильно, Паша.
Да, валит, валит, валит.
And the straw will find its way to the forfeit. No problem. For Sergei Glukov, 2 points on the board for Russia. So they start the second half on a better note, but still trailing Switzerland by 4.
En ja, also met een weite met een outlijn. Ja, sicher niet kürzer als das.
Okay, gut.
Maar dat is op een backline.
Ja, am Schluss ist recht runtergekommen. Ja.
Gut, let's go boys. Schön,
ja.
Ja, voll.
Сам.
Хорошая линия, не надо валить,
Нет,
не надо валить.
Нет, только мат! О, сам.
26, 26. Во.
Хорошенько.
Хорош.
Вообще получше поехал, да, как кажется, что?
Сколько это?
87.
So interesting tactic here from Team Russia. First rock, no hammer, putting up a corner guard.
I think to be fair, it just curled a wee bit more than they had intended.
Yeah. We have seen the corner guard tactic before without hammer. But maybe you're right. Sometimes you can play corner guards and try and sit 3 and hope for a missed draw. They are calling another corner.
Close the way.
That might be the case. So you put the corner guard here. You still can't hit it. Come around one corner. Switzerland peels it. You come around the other corner. Switzerland hits the open one. Then you come around the same corner again. You like to. They peel the last corner guard. You hit the open Swiss counter. You're lying 3. And then you hope for a miss. You might steal 2.
Sounds easy.
Yeah. Just have to make all your shots and hope Switzerland doesn't make a double. And Switzerland is bringing a rock into play here also.
Okay.
Could also just be playing it a bit differently. You saw the last time when Switzerland played the trick shot so well 2 ends ago on that centre guard. So Russia just moving the guards to a different place.
Well, nothing was working too well for them in the first half, so maybe just mixing it up here, throwing a curveball, trying to confuse the Swiss a bit, take them out of their comfort zone. Desperate times calls for desperate measures.
Russia certainly can't afford to lose another big end.
Фига себе сел так.
Die hoeft door. Die?
Ja, die hoeft door, ja.
Ja. Oder die?
Dan gewoon 2-mal hinter die.
Können wir aufhören nachher? Wir sind immer noch Schott.
Wie du willst.
Du kannst callen. Spielt ja nicht so eine Rolle.
Ich will eh noch die.
Die da würde ich.
Ja. Eh noch.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Switzerland playing the sensible shot, playing the scoreboard, take the guard off. They don't want to get into a unnecessary guddle behind cover.
Also ich kann da nicht mal schlau in die Mitte rollen oder so. Mit beiden.
Да, перед камнем поставь, Серег.
Чуть шире. Можно ждать?
Да.
Окей.
Антон, Антон.
Линий много, очень много. Линии
Антон.
критично много. 8 за.
Вместе.
Вдвоем. Цып.
Ниже, ниже, ниже сделай.
Отлично, Валит. Цып. Да-да-да, ниже, зайти. Цып. Хорош. Хорош.
Yeah, good draw in behind.
Не знаю, мне нравится.
Oké.
Squad. Halve.
Halve.
I think Schwaller is starting to realize what's happening here. Instead of just following Russia's lead here, we're going to try and do something about it. We're going to slash the corner guard and trying to catch one on the sides, and they will do that quite well. Brilliant shot from Romano Meyer, as will also jump on over to Netherlands, Scotland.
Well, the Guskins open draw has to just be fully in the 12 foot.
Okay, make
count.
sure. Eins goed, jongens. Alleen lengte. Linium. Kan geen kwaad. Gaat nu. Хорошо, линия нормальная.
So an open draw for 2 and makes it no problem. It's a 2 back on the board for Netherlands.
That gives them a little bit of hope here. Still trailing by 4. They'll play one more, see if they can get a steal on Scotland here. So after that great shot by Mayer, Russia puts up a guard. Brunner will look to peel it.
Oh,
actually, looking to slash again here. Oh, wow.
Great shot.
Back-to-back slash doubles from Switzerland. I mean, there's not much more you can do if you're Russia. You had a plan, and it was kind of working. Well, just 2 great shots from the Swiss second and third player here. Just really kills the end. That is a confident team right now, the Swiss. Of course, they have one more game today, all the men do. And this 4-session a day, Monday here in Helsingborg. Switzerland will take on England. And the way the Swiss are playing, I think the English will have a tough time. They're currently playing Sweden. It's a tough day for a team that's just come up from the B group. Russia, they will take on Germany. So a chance to bounce back there. Not over yet here though, but certainly looking that way. Just little by little. Another guard here from Russia. We'll see if Switzerland will change gears or just stay. Just stay. What's the word, Rona?
Stay focused. For you. No, there's just sticking to the game plan. You know, they're up with the hammer. It is very tempting to come around and just think we could kill the game here, but just play the sensible shot.
Discipline.
Center open.
That's what I was going to say.
Discipline.
Yeah.
So definitely not like you.
So indeed, they will just peel the guard here. Just playing the sensible call, the safe call. Could have drawn around, like you said, and put the squeeze on Russia, but that only opens up a possibility for the Russians to steal. The only thing they have now is to try and put a perfect freeze on an open stone without a guard. The hardest shot in curling, some say. Especially with the ice being so keen and the stone so lively nowadays. You're really having to put it dead perfect on the nose. And even then, the button's open for Switzerland.
Really good effort. Small separation, can split out, but the line was perfect.
Would be quite happy to just peel this one out and blank the end here, keep hammer. Even if they would overcurl and hang around for one. Big weight last stone, 7th end. No heroics required from Schwaller. Peels it out, actually too thin. Actually gets the one. I'm not sure if they saw that one coming, but they won't be too upset. Single point for Switzerland, and they will lead this game 9-4. 5-point lead.
Hä?
Du kommst schon wieder unten rauf.
Das hat alle gewusst, dass es nicht geht.
Ja, ich gehe jetzt im Hex so gut. Alle haben es gewusst, alle gewusst, dass wir geforst werden. Das ist ein Trick.
Gut.
Oh, dan kijk. No, where I go. Wow.
Besser. Sind alle weißen?
Ja, sind wir locker. Innen 4. Okay, Cello, gut so.
There's a scoreboard. Russia, Switzerland. A 9-4 lead for the Swiss. 3 ends to go. Russia will have last stone here. Would probably need a score of 3 here to have a realistic chance of pulling back.
Yep, score of 3 and a steal and a steal. Extra end, have to steal 2. A tall order against the Swiss team that are really playing well.
Anton Kalab has played these shots well.
Hier noch knapp, schön wie Stolli beißen. Gefährlich ein bisschen. Bis hier. Hier beißen.
Ja, dat spelen.
Ja, lass immer zu viel. Nicht zu schlecht, schön bis hier. Nicht zu tief.
Oh,
Nicht zu
goed.
Gut.
Cello. Ciao, Ben.
So. So viel hat gar nicht.
Yep, Russia have got last stone, just need to throw everything at this 8th end.
Пойдем, сам. Сам 6.
Russia, на orange.
Сам.
To put these guards in a usable place. Close to the rings. Well played, good setup.
Beißen auch.
Beißen auch, Jungs. Ja. Immer noch jemand ändern. Das ist gerettet.
Kan niks schlecht. Vooraf!
Kann lang. Linie sieht das aus, dass er schneller ist. Kann lang. Immer Cello, aber ich habe das Gefühl, der hat schon lange das Feld.
Ah, sorry.
От верхнего камня ролл.
So again, facing three, Russia just need to play the tap back game. They don't want to be hitting.
Yeah, you don't mind moving these yells about, but you need to really remove them from play. Just kind of shuffle them around. If you can ever push one of those yells in behind the corner, it'd be great. Have some backing. Cans of catchers. They are playing a soft lead here, though. So I don't think I'll remove any of the yellows. Just try and spread them around. And that's pretty good there.
Yeah, really good shot.
That's exactly what we were wanting to see from Russia 2 ends ago. And there's a big wall.
And it's given them 3 yellows that are back tee that can be frozen.
Yep.
Switzerland keep making these shots. Not the toughest ones, but so important to keep making them. One mistake and they're just inviting your opponent in.
Yeah, and really important for Switzerland just to keep their focus. As you say, one slip up and Russia will capitalise, so Switzerland just need to keep their wits about them. Play the simple shots well.
Хорошая линия. Вдох легко. Приезжает без контакта. Линия свип.
Линия свип.
Через. База. Вау.
Линия супер, вес.
Без контакта.
Just wanting to freeze on top of this yellow. Really nice.
Казалось в какой-то момент, что это очень много, километров.
So good setup from Russia.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hi. Whoa.
Good shot there. Kills one red and also takes off the backing.
Все в одну кучу, он сильно ударит, все разлетится нафиг.
Тут может выкрутиться.
So they've got another yellow to freeze in the wing. They can come around the corner guard. Got some options here to try and make it as difficult as possible for Switzerland.
Хорошо, сюда. 8 до. Линия хорошая. Чуть шире. В конце будет сваливаться. Линия норма. Делай вес. С вами быть. Полностью белая, ребят. Можно Артура подключать. Подключите Артура. Артур, сыпь. Не. Сыпь, Артур, сыпь. Хорошо.
So a good drop. Round behind cover.
Каждый раз он просто сильно съехал.
Gleichturn.
Beides gut.
9.
Das ist der Out, hè? Ja. Nein, ich habe keinen Gleichturn. Ich würde einen Out spielen.
Das ist 9 Gramm?
Ja.
9-second takeout. All teams will have their different times or names for different weights.
You know, yep.
So it'll be 9 seconds from hog line to hog line.
Clean, meter, cello run. Yep.
And by doing that, everyone's on board on what weight they're throwing and what kind of curl they can expect to see.
Если стрейт, то будет дабл.
Good shot by Brunner. feel like I've been saying that a lot today.
For all the Swiss team, we've been saying it. To be fair, all 4 of them have played well.
Понять. Сив! Сив! Yes! Сив! Yes!
Switzerland have a second shot here. So I think they're just going to nose this red. Line 2.
Okay. Einfach das Weich. Gut.
And by nosing it, they're pretty much corner frozen on the side red. It'll be a very tough double for Russia. They're so open. No real cover. It'll be hard to see how they will generate a score of 2 here, let alone a 3.
На краю хочет ролл сыграть. Но он даст нам стейм, у нас будет -2 и дабл только с потерей шутера. Мне кажется, нет.
Ему играть только оттуда.
Знаете, почему его хочешь сыграть?
Стей тоже неплохо. Стей роллни вот сейчас сюда. Слабый тейк.
Так он не будет. В чем вид? Он ударит тоже. Там ближе. Серег, а он потом ударит стеем, мы как будем 2 брать?
Ну, мы ударим тогда тот тайм. Нам надо ролл туда. Ну,
ролл, все понятно.
Надо попасть. Ролл надо. Небольшой.
Слабый?
Слабый тейк.
Слабый.
Легко.
Сив!
Yep.
Воу.
Легко.
Вау.
Yep. Yep.
Сив!
Roll. Roll.
Хорош.
Nice hit and flop.
Denmark plays Norway.
And Norway already lying 1, so it's an open draw for Thomas Olsrud for 2.
Yeah, it was a really good come around by Thomas on his first one. Came around a stone that was in the house on the wing. And Mikkel Krause missed a 3-foot run back. So skips deuce here for Olsrud.
No problem. Right to the button.
2 points on the board, and Norway leads Denmark 8-4. 2 ends to go over there.
Silence here. No problem.
Yeah, good enough for Chevalier. But Russia will be able to score their 2 here. And 2 keeps them in business.
Да. За исключением 5-го.
Слабый.
Все время как-то. Да.
Легко.
Отличный вес.
Легко. Легко, просто легко. Просто легко. Воу, воу,
No
2
problem.
on the board. It is for Team Russia. Nice shot by Glukov. He's Making a lot of shots, the skip. So they claw back and stay in it with a chance here. 2 ends to go. Russia, Switzerland.
Что-то у нас тогда не особо получилось. Не до боковыми. Не до боковыми. В первом энде-то нормально, кстати, было.
Третий.
23, ребят. Линия хорош. Что, вес?
Вес есть. Только линия.
Подход и все.
Третий.
Сип. Хорош.
Let's say Russia, who's played much better after halftime. Of course, Switzerland has played a bit more defensively and let Russia have a chance at scoring 2. Can afford giving up a couple of deuces, but now with Hammer, it is Switzerland that will want to score in this end, keep control. Take shot from Koifler is made again. Very good. Gets it off the center line, keeps that open. All Switzerland really needs to do here is score a single point. A single point and they'll be ahead by 4.
Сам, подними. 6. Пока в дом. Можешь сначала? Не, умирает.
Умирает вроде.
Yep, they wouldn't even be too bothered if they did lose a 1
True.
against the head. You know, they've got a good enough cushion on the scoreboard to go into the last end. But they've had a good cushion, and as you say, they could give up 2s and not be too worried about it on the scoreboard because they had that cushion from scoring the big 4. Very nice position to be in.
Not sure what you prefer. 2 up with Hammer or 4 down without.
Close. Yep. Whoa.
Either are pretty good, to be fair.
Michi.
Another tech shot here by Koifler. Keeps the shooter in the rings on this occasion. Very nice. Scotland picks up a win this morning. 9-3 final over Netherlands. Bouncing back from their defeat on Russia yesterday, and also Italy closing out the game on Germany 10-3.
Thank you, good luck.
Scoring that 4 in the 5th end. Germany just tried everything to get back, but a couple of steals going Italy's way, and another win in the books for Returnaz and his foursome.
Либо дров, рейс, что-нибудь такое. Нам в конце 2 камня надо иметь.
По 6 футов.
Хорошо. Линия нормальная.
Линия супер.
Russia choosing to come around the
Линию подождать.
corner guard.
Линия сам.
Хорошая линия. Хорошая линия.
Лёх.
Не надо, ребят, лучше этого оставить. Не.
Хорош.
macht auch Pixel.
Ja, klar.
Yep,
Yep. Never
Mooi Schmiegel, mooi.
Echt.
Yep.
Good. Nice.
Rolls that onto the rings. As we take a look at Nicholas Adine leading England 7-4.
Going for a double here for 3. Moves enough just to get a 2. But that'll be fine for them on the scoreboard.
And England's had enough. This game's over. A 9-4 final, and Sweden pick up another win this morning on home soil in front of home fans. England has had a tough week so far at the Europeans in the A group, coming up from the Bs, taking on Switzerland this afternoon.
Казалось, легковато. Хорошо он только сразу.
Romano Meyer makes the peel.
Good.
Switzerland just carrying on, being very clinical.
Taking a look over, that is Denmark playing Norway. And it's last rock for Mikkel Krause.
Going for a raise on the yellow onto red onto yellow.
Well, what's he got here? A little tight on line, I think, but ends up with.
He gets his 2. Great shot.
Wow. Well, that works out well. Denmark hangs on. They will trail by 2. 1 end to go. They'll try their all to steal and push this game into an extra. Excellent shot by Krause, the 2009 junior world champion.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Never got those.
Brunner feels the guard, takes out his own. Don't think they'll be too upset.
No, I don't think they'll worry about that.
Never got those.
Хороший вес.
Сюда кто-то.
5-й.
25, да. Надо 25. Ниже не надо. 25.
Есть 25.
Легче.
Изи.
Легче. Поднять.
Антоха, сыпь.
Yep. Oh. Yep. Hey.
Looking for the slash here, Brunner. 1 and 2, but sticks around. Close call. They made too many of them today, Switzerland. Can't have them all.
So, aber das habe ich mir noch angeschaut. Ah, lustig. Auf das habe ich nicht geschaut. Zum Glück hat der Cello das Zeug richtig gehabt.
Первый добавил, 95 добавил, у него хороший, но мне кажется, он чуть добавил.
2 девятки добавлены, да. 6-й, 5-й.
So no guards of any use to Russia out front. Need to go for the
Перевал. Линия норма. 25 и все.
Erlang shot.
Делай.
Protect it, but it's very easy to outdraw for Switzerland. The whole forefoot is open. But I think with his first, you'll see Schwaller just take the guard, keep it simple. And he'll be happy if he's got the forefoot left to draw to. Or a double to play.
Ja, eben. Ich meine, der Worst Case, wenn jetzt alles gut.
Zieht ein bisschen. Ja. Easy. Whoa.
No problem. So what kind of shot do Russia want to leave? Switzerland. A draw to the button. A double. Today, Mr. Schwaller has been playing them all.
Probably come in light too. You'd think Yannick Schwaller would probably play the hit. That way there's no risk of giving up two. And like we said, even if giving up a steal here, you'll be two up with the hammer. You might even see them prefer to play that way. Even though 4 up is quite enticing as well. Well, this one will come in. Trying to keep it as high as possible, but still lie to. No, just going to guard it. So you might see them draw then. Just facing the one anyway. Don't really think it's necessary to play the run for 2 here.
No, draw fair one.
Might be good to play a draw here too, in case you need it in the 10th end. Played a lot of takeouts in the, well, most of the game really. Yannick Schwaller.
From what we've seen, the ice stays very consistent, same weight, first to 10th end.
So wie die Medium hat Spuren, die schon kannst.
Just needs to be half in the forefoot for shot.
Only played 3 draws this morning, Yannick Schwaller. That is a part of the game though. Keep that draw weight in your back pocket at any time.
Team's giving you the forefoot clear.
This one is running a bit. Will it sit down in time? I think so. Right on the forefoot, 4-1 for Switzerland, and that is enough for Russia. They certainly met a stronger team this morning, Switzerland on fire. And the 3rd win for the Swiss. 10-6 final score. Building some confidence now. This young Swiss team. Yes, I'm sure they have ambitions to medal here this week, even though it is a debut. Russia will lose another game here. And it might be a fight to stay up in the A group for them on this form.